Hello everybody, today I'll be working on a Militia, or Dutch Militia for the game Blood Plunder by Firelock Games. Whenever I start a miniature, I always like blocking out the base. In this case, we're going to use tan earth. Next, I'll base coat the skin, and for the skin, I'll use Bugbin's Glow. I'll paint the miniature's jacket and breeches with burnt umber. As you can see here, I'm keeping my paint relatively thin. This is to help prevent buildup and clogging details. However, we will have to apply multiple layers to get a solid foundation here. In the case of the jacket, it took me approximately 3 coats. The figure stocking, sash, and the feather in his hat will be a 3-to-1 mix of red by Vallejo and German camouflage black-brown, also by Vallejo. I'll move on to the leather details by applying a 50-50 mix of German camouflage black-brown and leather brown. Now I block out the musket using flat brown. Now I'll use stone gray for the white details on this miniature, such as his cravat and his sleeves. Whoops, a little overspill. I'll just fix this by taking a damp brush, applying it to the area. Next I'll take a dry brush and absorb the water left over. Any black details on the miniature, such as his hat, shoes, scabbard, and any details on the musket will be painted black by Vallejo. Lastly, any gold or bronze, I'll use chocolate brown as the base coat. Now that our base coats are complete, I'm going to move on to Gravelord Grey, a speed paint by Army Painter. I'm going to treat this as a black lining, running this paint in between anywhere that the colors change. This will also apply definition to articles of the same colors, such as the jacket and the breeches. Any sharp folds will also receive this as well. With the black lining complete, I'm going to move on to ivory for the eyes. I'm just going to use a thin brush here and just little lines to where the eyes would be. I want to be as steady as possible. Now you're going to take a black and you're going to dot the eyes. If you don't feel confident using a paintbrush to dot the eyes, I recommend using a micro pen. What I used before was Micron 005. With your black, you're going to apply a thin line around the eyeball. This will help you shape the eye. I'm going to take the base coat, in this case Bugman's Glow, and I'm going to clean up the skin. I'll apply this over the face and the hands. While I'm applying this to the face, I'm going to push back that black lining so it's nice and thin. This will help give the impression of eyelashes and shadow on the eye. Now that we've finished up the eyes and cleaned up the face, we're going to move on to layering up. I'll start with the red areas, reapplying our base coat of a 3-to-1 mix of red and German camouflage black-brown. I'm going to proceed layering up using Vallejo's red. The feather's going to be tricky because you're going to have to pick out each individual strand. This can be a little tedious, but the result at the end will be worth it. because of the translucency of the thin paint, I'm going to have to apply multiple coats. With each coat, I'm going to increase the opacity, creating a more solid color. However, I'm going to use the translucency as an advantage to mimic a transition. I'm going to continue layering up, adding one stack of red into my red. As I proceed adding layers, I'll gradually add more of the one stack of red. I've now layered up to the point where I'm at a pure Wazdaka red. For a final highlight, I'm going to add a hint of Iraqi sand to the Wazdaka red. With the reds now complete, I'm going to reapply burnt umber. The purpose of this is once again to push back the shadow and clean up any overspill I may have had. I'll apply this over the jacket as well as the breeches, making sure to keep the shadow in between the two articles of clothing. I'm going to work on the breeches first. Taking my base coat of burnt umber, I'm going to gradually add English uniform as I layer up. I will also note that this may be easier to do before the red. Keep applying English uniform to your mix as you layer up. I'm now at pure English uniform. Because the breeches don't take up a lot of space, I'm going to treat this as my final highlight. For the jacket, I'm going to mix up 2 parts burnt umber, 1 part English uniform, and 1 part yellow ochre. This will be applied all over the jacket, leaving the burnt umber in the recess. My next layer, I mix an even mix of burnt umber, English uniform, and yellow ochre. From here on out, I'll add a yellow ochre to my previous mix. I'm approximately at 2 parts yellow ochre, 1 part English uniform, and 1 part burnt umber. Once again, keep adding yellow ochre as you're layering up. I'm now at 1 part burnt umber, 1 part English uniform, and 3 parts yellow ochre. As you can see here, I'm just layering up, applying multiple coats of this paint. I want it to be pretty solid. going to start adding Iraqi sand to my mix. This will be applied top down, so any part of the jacket that I could see from the top of the miniature I'll coat with this. I'll also apply this mix to the bottom edge of his jacket. Once again, apply a second thin coat to solidify the layer. With his jacket complete, I'm going to move on to his leathers. I'm going to reapply the base coat of German Camouflage Black Brown and Leather Brown with a 50-50 mix. I now move on to Leather Brown. This will be applied, leaving spaces where you see our previous coat. I want kind of a patchy pattern. With that being said, I'm going to apply this to all the high parts as well. going to start adding khaki to my leather brown. I'm approximately at a 75% leather brown to 25% khaki. With this, I'm going to apply it as an edge highlight, but also reinforcing the patchiness of the leather. Keep adding khaki to the mix. With this, I'm going to just create little lines, almost in a stippling motion. And I'm also going to highlight the 12 apostles. I'm also going to create little scratches in the leather, just as fine little lines as you can. I'm now going to add more khaki to the mix. I'm now approximately 25% leather brown, 75% khaki, and I'm just going to apply this sparingly over the previous scratches. I'm also going to highlight any of the scratches on the flat leather. Just thin little lines, little dots. You want to create the impression of wear and tear. I'm now going to take Agrax Earthshade and I'm going to mix it with Lamian Medium in a 50-50 mix. I don't want this too thick, I'm going to apply this as a glaze. The idea is going to knock down the brightness of the khaki so it's more uniform with the darker colors. I will note that while we have this washout, you could also wash the base in this step. I forgot to do that here. Moving on to the whites, I'm going to reapply the base coat of Stone Grey. going to start adding ivory to the stone gray. Approximately 75% stone gray, 25% ivory. And you just want to catch the high points of the cloth, leaving the stone gray in the folds. Keep adding ivory to your mix and you're going to layer up to your desired brightness. Once again, keep adding ivory to your mix until your desired brightness. I'm going to start working on his musket next. With that, I'll reapply the base coat of flat brown. I'm going to add mahogany brown to the flat brown as I layer up. And I'm now at pure mahogany brown. With this, I'm just catching the upsides of the weapon. I'm going to move on to the skin. Because we already cleaned up with Bugman's Glow, I'm now going to add Cadian Flesh Tone to the mix. This layer will be applied over most of the skin, leaving the Bugman's Glow in the deepest recess. going to continue layering up with Cadian Fleshstone. Now I'll add Kislev Flesh to the previous paint. Each layer I'm painting less of the surface area. In this case I'm mostly picking out the knuckles. Knuckles, nose, cheeks, chin, lip, brow. Now I'm moving on to Kislev Flesh. This will be covering the same parts as before, just less of the surface area. I now take Careborg Crimson, and this is applied over the bottom lip and into the crevice of the mouth. Next I'll take my midtone of Cadian Fleshtone and just a hint of Luftwaffe uniform World War II. This will be applied as the 5 o'clock shadow. You want to thin this down quite a bit as you don't want it too strong. I will apply a second coat to solidify it over the bottom chin and the jawline. If you haven't already, cover the base with Agrax Earthshade. Once that's dry, I'm going to take my tan earth and I'm going to just pick out the wood grain on the planks of the base. I didn't get it recorded, but after I'm done picking out the wood grain, I'm going to go back to the Agrax Earthshade and I'm going to run it into the crevices between the planks, as well as the nails. I'm going to reapply black onto all the black areas, just cleaning it up. I'm also going to use black to pick out the nail heads in the base. I'm going to add black gray to my black, and I'll highlight all the black parts with this. Keep adding black-gray to your mix as you layer up until you're at a pure black-gray. I now paint the rim of the base using dried bark. I'll now clean up the gold parts of the model using chocolate brown. I'm now going to mix in brass with chocolate brown. This will create a dull, muted brass look. I'm going to apply this, leaving the chocolate brown in the deepest areas. I'm now going to highlight with pure brass. This will be applied to all the top points. Moving on to the silver, I'm going to use gunmetal. This is a Vallejo air color as I find it spreads smoothly. I'm going to apply this onto the nails as well as the musket's barrel, ramrod, and any mechanisms on the weapon. Now I'll highlight the barrel with gunmetal mixed with silver. I'll just clean up that overspill, reapplying mahogany brown. At this point I realized I forgot to paint the hair of the miniature. I'm going to mix up German camouflage black brown and burnt umber. With this I'll just base coat the hair, and I'll also pick out the eyebrows. I'm now going to add burnt umber. Just pick out the individual strands of hair. And highlight the eyebrows. Now I'll add tan earth to the mix. I want a really brown, dirty blonde look. Alright, now the Dutch Militiaman is complete. All that's left is to apply a matte varnish. Thank you for spending time watching my video, and I'll leave you with some pictures of the painted unit. Please like and subscribe and all that YouTube jazz. Until next time.